You're such an asshole.
Judge Cappy here. We had yesterday a guy asked, "Am I a loser?" Which I understand. I was critical of him, constructively so, but not in a malicious way. I wasn't trying to hurt his feelings, but he didn't know. He didn't have a dad. And as the little more I thought about it, I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of. How would you know? Your teachers tell you you're great and amazing as long as you vote Democrat, or you cut off your genitalia and claim to like the other gender, whatever gender it is that week. Your moms are pretty. God, American parents are worthless, especially in America. They don't give you any constructive criticism whatsoever. Then invariably, invariably, in the 1 in 2 chance, first, okay, there's a 6 in 10 chance your parents are even together when you're born. Okay, so 40% of you were born into a broken, dysfunctional home. The remaining 60%, so that's 30, so it's 70% of American kids either are immediately born into a broken home or inevitably will live in a broken home after 80%, 70%, 80% of the moms divorce the dads. Okay. So then and then what is it, 90 odd percent you're given primary custody to mom? I'd have to look up the numbers. So, but okay, the whole point is then a bunch of you are raised by your single moms. They're not going to tell you jack fuck all shit about empiricism or reality. They're not going to be like very fair, like you're a loser or you need it. They're just, oh my God, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. Your teachers, up until maybe you get to middle school, are a bunch of childish women as well. Sorry, that's a pretty broad brush I'm painting with, but for the most part, kindergarten through 8th grade, your teachers are just babysitters, disproportionately women, which skews it to. I mean, there's nothing wrong with women, but you need to have a masculine influence in there somewhere. And then I don't know, media and the government take over after that, and absolutely no one tells you if you suck. No one. And you all wonder, like, here, you want scary? I'll give you the 2 scariest words in the world. This is what ends up happening when there's no judgment and there's no discipline and there's no constructive criticism. Millennial parents, huh? Huh? Look out. No! It is like a horror film. Millennial parents, they managed to have sex and outtake him. The horror that ensued. It's soy milk. It's good for your bones. So this guy wants to know if he's a loser too, and I'm more than happy to help you out because I am America's older brother, and I am the older brother you never had. Not the dad you never had, because I don't want to have children. I'm the older brother, because dads can't beat you. Older brothers can. Dads, like in the olden days, it could beat you. They're like, I'm going to learn you good, son. Now they can't. You're a modern American father. Oh my goodness, what do we do? I got to go work my project manager job. Yes, dear. Divorce again? The second woman to do that to me. So those are your father. But older brothers, at least in the olden times, we could take you out back and beat the snot out of you if you stepped out of line. Now I don't know what a Zoomer older brother, like he just plays video games better than you. What does he do? So here we go. Please keep me anonymous. I didn't want to ask if I was a loser. I merely invented the question. So he asked me, am I cool? I guess I have to answer that specific question because you're not a loser. I'll tell you that right now. When we go through the details you provide, you're not a loser. It's interesting what you think makes you cool or not cool, or a loser or not a loser. Some of these have no direct bearing on it, but whether you're cool, that's a different question. 23 years old. Oh, no, you're not cool. You're a loser. No, what does that have to do? You're 23. 2 paid off vehicles, 1 lower mileage, 1 higher mileage, 2,500 in savings, no debt, no children I can't afford or at all. Spinning 2 girls, around a 4 to 6 on look scale, but also very nice personalities, get along well. Okay. 5 jobs in the security industry. So I don't think you're working currently 5 jobs. You are working. You have worked 5 jobs in the security industry. Started my own PI firm. Will probably land a subcontracting job. My question is, you started one. Do you have businesses? Do you have business? Do you have money coming in? Minimalist play the guitar. No, no. Unless you play the guitar like Rollo Tomasi. Unless you play electric guitar. No, that's not a thing. That's not a thing. You work on my vehicle, 702 credit score, told by ex-cops and veteran PIs I have the potential personality to be successful in the investigations. Oh, did you get a pat on the head? I mean, you sound like you're looking for everybody else's approval. Like, oh my God, am I cool? That's not cool. Look, I'm not a big cool guy. Like, I don't really aim to be Steve McQueen. I will admit this because I don't give a shit what people think about me. Initially, that starts off as not very cool at all because you're in the artificial environment of school. You're not conforming. You're not cool. You're not popular, which shink, shink, tuck, 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 tuck. But as you get older, all of a sudden, like, oh, you know, the guy who ignored the trends and didn't do what was popular, man, that guy's really cool. I don't know if cool is anything conscious or designed or sentient. It's, I think, more of an issue of statistical aberration, statistical rarity. And if you look on a Bell distribution curve, popular is the normie conforming inferior fucks who literally might as well not exist. On the far tail end would be, I guess, maybe not unpopular, but deviant in a bad way. Sexual predators, criminals, people who genuinely have a mental disorder and don't pick up on the social cues and just make it weird for everybody else. Then there's the statistically aberrant on the right side of the Bell distribution who abide by the law, don't do dumb things, don't disturb, but they just go out and do their own thing. Those guys and gals are cool. Man, look at him. He's cool. We got Renegade Sailor, I believe. He's out. Where is he? He's sailing across the Pacific. That's cool. There's no, in other words, like once you become an adult, once you leave school, there is no correlation between what's actually cool as an adult and what was cool in school. What was cool in school was determined by a bunch of 8th grade, 13-year-old psychopaths. What's cool in the real world is when you're actually living a better life and doing something that's good and rarer than what the normie conforming inferiors are doing in McMansions with mixed suburbs with their mixed student loans and their mixed children and their mixed divorces and their mixed wives. And here you are like, they said I got a chance. And it is obviously painful. You did not have a father. Because why don't you become a cop, dude? I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a PI. I mean, that's fine. Do that that's not a real job, man. I mean, okay, it is a real job, but it ain't what it used to be. It ain't Magnum PI. It ain't Rockford Files. And even then, they made fun of how little money these guys made because it's not a stable employment. You know, some girls go into like realty, they become realtors because they can't make it in the real world. Guys do that too. You know, like PI, that's kind of like a low grade. You might be a great PI. But I don't know. Are you doing it because you're good at it and you want to do it? Or are you doing it because there's nothing else for you to do and you don't want to go to school for a real skill or trade? 131 IQ, highly intellectual. That's not okay. That's not good or bad. That is what it is. You are just gifted, I would say, with the parental background and your own study habit. Now, if you had to sit down and study yourself, just so you know, I don't believe IQ is just like, oh yeah, it's all genetics. No, it's not. Not by a long shot, actually. But if you put effort into studying that, when you tested for that, that's good. But did you translate that into good grades? Are you making smart decisions now? It doesn't matter if you got an IQ 140. Making dumb decisions. But a lot of that also does come, health, genetics, nutrition, environment. Not all that is you. Immigrant from the Far East. Okay, good. I know you're just giving me background to be like, oh, this is his story that provides the context. I guess I want you to pat me on the back and get appreciation and approval from being on the right path. I never got it from my shithead, neglective, abusive parents. See, there we go. There we go. Link below is a course called The Dad You Never Had. I'm not joking. I'm not just saying it to make some money. I'm saying it so I can make some money. And your entire value system, well, not your entire value system, most of your value system is unfocused and erroneously based. You're like looking for approval. You're doing good. I won't lie. Yeah, you're not a loser by any stretch of the imagination. You're working very hard, and especially accounting for where you came from, you're doing exceptionally well. Unfortunately, the real world doesn't care what your background is. If you came from a disadvantaged background, you need to get more focused like a laser. And above all else, you need context to guide and fill in like, oh, this is important. Here's how I should be aiming for these things, which is obviously what a father should have done. This sounds like a highly successful person that was raised by a village of women in the public school system. You're doing exceptionally well for that. You need to focus a little bit more and have the context by which you can say, oh, here's the point and purpose in life. Here's what I got to do. And these things are great. Like, one of the best things you got going on is you didn't fuck up. This is good. This is very good. I never got from my parents. You told me to move out of my parents' abusive household at 18, 19. Best advice I got. I don't have anybody who would really like some encouragement right now and someone I respect. Yeah, dude, without a doubt, the fact you came from nothing and you had no parental support and they were abusive either mentally, which they were not supportive mentally. They did not help you mentally. Physically abusive, maybe. Like, yeah, that's the fact you came from that shithole to where you are now. That is amazing. So you're not a loser, not by any imaginable stretch. You are an exceptional individual. I do mean that. I'm not pampering you. Most people who come from that environment already knocked up a bunch of fat bitches, already collecting more of my government money, my taxes, and then usually blame it. Oh, it's the white man or the Jews or the corporations or whatever. So at least you've avoided that hellhole. But you're not cool. I mean, but do you want to? And you're still young. Like, cool, I imagine you're 20-something, a young 20-something. You know what's cool at 21? Getting a college degree. No. Oh my God, voting Democrat. I'm so cool. I have purple hair. And what's cool for you 21-year-old boys, like, yeah, Democrat, good, vote Democrat. I vote them. I support ally. I am. Carry a mattress for you. I will. Touch me? No. So one, I don't think you're cool by you're certainly not conforming. Let's put it that way. So you're not cool in your current generational environment. All right. By your peer group, you're probably not cool because you don't have a master's degree. I'm like, goodness. In a short few years, once you hit 23, 24, 25, if you're not there already, yeah, you're going to be on the way to cool because how many people let's say you make a successful private investigator. How many do you know? If you're a private investigator, that's not saying much, but if you're a successful one, it's kind of cool. By real standards, by the rest of which the remainder of your life on this planet, and as you enter adulthood, post school, not a cool bit. Look, and maybe to be cool is not even that sexy over time, because right now, like, look at how avoiding mistakes makes me cool at almost 50 years old. Like, he's not fat. He doesn't have kids that he can't afford or illegitimate. He's never been divorced. What else boring? I don't have car loans. Man, whoa, dude. Wow. He's never been divorced, bro. Check it out. No car loans. Dude, that's cool. No one says like, man, you dress like shit. No one's done that to me in decades. Like, where'd you get that shirt? This is one time I was at a party in my 30s and younger 30s. And I was at this party and the music was, what was it? It was odd. I'm like, what kind of music they playing? And this guy out of nowhere, this guy was like maybe even in his 40s, but we're not 20s anymore. It's like same era that your haircut came from. And I'm looking at the guy and I quickly quip. I'm like, at least I still got my hair because he was balding. But I'm like, that's such an obscure. Of course, it was the suburbs of the Twin Cities. Of course, he probably, Lord knows what, played lacrosse and some asshole dickhead from a suburb high school that ended and started with vowels. I'm like, really? But you see, even that's kind of dated, applying middle school standards to people who are full grown adults. But if you keep going, like if you tighten up your game plan, if you're like, I gotta do this, I guess you'll be cooler sooner. But obviously you said you're not really concerned about whether or not you're cool. You're more concerned whether you're a loser. Not a loser, not by a long stretch. You got some good potential though to be cool on top of it. Steve McQueen cool, giving the finger to everybody else cool, like doing your own thing, living your own life cool. And so, you're young and you came from a disadvantaged family, so it's going to be a while. So yeah, no, you're on the right. Negatives. I'm fat. I've lost 20 pounds in the past 8 months, but I'm still fat. Okay, well, you can't be cool if you're fat, either in school or out of school. That's just a given. You need to lose the weight. 2, potentially undiagnosed and untreated legitimate psychiatric illnesses due to severe abuse endured as a youth. All right, yeah, maybe. Here's a question: did that not make you stronger or more resilient? Look, what happened. Do you have social anxiety? So maybe you're gonna let that stop you. You're gonna be a regular little Zeleny. Oh my goodness, bad thing happened to me. I'm gonna ruin the rest of my life feeling sorry for myself. You're gonna like, yeah, that happened, and we're gonna move on with life. I'm gonna take that, dude. Do you know how much of my success, what modicum of success there has been, is based on anger and rage? Like this, we're going to encourage you and love you. And man, you belong to this. Do you think I ever felt like I was part of a community that anyone, especially Minnesota community, do you think there was any like, hey, we really want to help you and you're part of the, we really enjoy you here? Like, no, you're a dick. You're a conservative. You're libertarian. You're white and you're male. We hate you all the freaking time. I don't mean to say that to sound like boo hoo hoo, but it was. Go live there, everybody. Go have fun over there. Like, no. You take your pain and you make it production out of it. and here I'll tell you, you want to be a loser? Loser's like, oh my goodness, oh my god, I have the depressions. Government give me money. And they make it part of their personality. Like, I have autism. My parents from the suburbs said so because they didn't want to raise me. You want to be that dickhead? You want to be common? You want to be normie conforming? What do you want? Like, yeah, I got it, but I got over it. Or it's still in it, but I channel that energy and I make something productive. They call it sublimation. You take something bad and you're making lemonade out of lemons. Like you, I believe established psychology is a scam. Like most infrastructures of society is built for the common man. Homo normalis, wonder bread people, etc. They don't like people like me and you, high IQ, to fully express ourselves and self-actualize. Who cares what they like? It is a threat to the tribe. They would want to normalize me. However, my traumas probably do affect me and will affect me negatively in the future. Yes, they will. To this day, I'll give you an example. I eat incredibly fast because I didn't know if I was going to get called to another call. There was no food. And it's weird. Like I'm eating and someone asks me a question, I get pissed. I'm like, do you see I'm eating right fucking now? Or like other people who had food in the past, like regularly, like they're in no rush to get to the food. Although maybe a lot of you would align with me on this. Like, let's have dinner, whatever, Christmas dinner, Thanksgiving dinner, whatever. There's the food. And people, I'm like, the food, let's eat the food now. There it is. It's hot. Let's go. And people are taking their time getting to the table. This bullshit where you got to wait for everyone to be seated. Bullshit. And I'm like, the food's, I'm like, can we eat the food? No one else seems to be like, hey, the food's here. That should be a primary focus right now. They're like, let me talk about my pubic hair some more, John. Hey, yeah, one came in the other day. I haven't counted them or combed them yet. I'm like, and I'm usually the first there. And after a while, I just don't have the patience for the rest of the normies. Like, I'm loading up my plate. Fuck you guys. I'm sitting down. I'm eating by myself. Oh my God, what a weirdo. I'm like, no, y'all the weirdos sitting there talking about your pubes, not eating the food. And so, oh my God, the food's a little cold. Jesus, you think, Johnson? Maybe you shouldn't have been talking about your pubes. Pube Talk, my new podcast coming out next week. So, yeah, they are going to negatively affect you if you let them. Otherwise, dude, okay, that's going to happen. Too bad. Get over it. I began tremendous psychological work on myself, severe self-examination, putting myself in difficult situations to stress test myself. I don't think you have to stress test yourself. What? No. That's added burden. Lose weight. Go run. Go walk. Go walk, then start running. Lose your weight. There's your stress test. You need focus. I'm going to put myself through. No, you ain't got time for that. Ain't got time for that. May be able to do away with consulting a psychologist. What do you think? I've made it this far. I think I'll be fine. Like a video response. Look, I don't know the depths. Like, if you were physically abused as a child, yeah, you probably ought to go talk to a therapist. And like you, I have some suspicions about how effective a therapist can be. But if it's helping you, and there, it's kind of a weird world psychology. There are some legit psychological problems that do need some addressing, or at least you need to talk to someone. Maybe like an abuser, abused anonymous or something. Maybe go to some groups but there's some things that do need some addressing. So you can go on and you understand. But for every one of those, there's like 5, 6 fraudulent bullshit things going on in the psychology industry that I don't know. Psychologists don't seem to cure anyone. They really don't. But I will tell you this, whether you see a psychologist or not, it's going to be up to you to fix these problems. And so if you're still getting some benefit out of seeing a therapist, yeah, absolutely go and do it. But if you're like, no, I gotta, what was interesting to listen to is that guy, Pete, you refuse to invite social gatherings. Now he swears by it. Of course, he's kind of like going off of it, like because he knows he doesn't want to see the therapist all the time. So he would be one more inclined to recommend it. But I think he identified the role that the therapist would play in his life. He got to that point and was like, okay, I've achieved it. Now I don't need this anymore. And he moved on. And I think that's something you probably got to do as well. But yeah, if you've talked to a therapist, okay. And you know what? You can always go back. Go through like, man, I'm at Counselor Jones over there really did help me out. Maybe I'll go get another. Like, yeah, I'm at this point. I need your help again. But dude, I'm not talking to no 25-year-old ditzy bimbo therapist. According to cognitive theory, burbity, but here's some drugs. All right, let's go to super chats because I got to get. Oh, no super chats. Awesome. All right, I'll see you guys later. There's no family. Sit the fuck down and eat. Like if I'm in command, Daddy Cappy, if I was the father, we're eating at 4. Your butts are in the goddamn seats at 4. 3:55. I'm eating. Don't ask me no fucking questions. All right, we'll see you guys later, Toodles. Oh, link below. The dad you never had. Okay? Take it. See you guys later, Toodles.